August, day 8 we're up to. My name is Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. This is a live stream series of videos that happen between 8:45 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday morning during August. The reason is to show up, to share an idea, to share a thought, to consider how we as leaders can become better leaders, better communicators, better team members as well, because as team leaders, we're still members of our team, and contribute to creating more great places to work. If you are here with me, please say hello in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. If you've got a question or comment or story you want to share with me, please send me an email if you're interested. Tristan@tristanwhite.com.au is the place to get in touch there. Hey, Phil's here. G'day, Phil. Nice to have you with us. Thanks for being here again on the show. I think you've been here most days, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, Think Big, Act Small in August is the concept. Just a quick touch on something, and that is that I say every time, and that is that I believe the world needs more great places to work, and I absolutely believe that. But there's more to it than that, and that is that I believe that we spend so much time at work that we've got to find a way to enjoy it. And I also think that so much opportunity exists for us leaders, especially as service-based businesses who have got these growing teams of people. If we can become the best leader we can be, we can empower other people to be the best version of themselves, and the impact on their families, on their lives, on their communities is so much greater than just ourselves. So there's a bigger idea around creating more great places to work, that's for sure. Carmel is here. Carmel, nice to have you here on a Wednesday morning. Jeffrey is here. Nice to have you back, Jeffrey. I love it how you're here nearly every morning. And Trav's here. G'day, Trav. Hope you're really well. Hope you're everything's going well in your world. It's sunny shining here, so hopefully there's something similar for you and not too far away from where I am. Alrighty. In the last couple of days, we've been continuing on this conversation or idea about what did we love about the Olympics and what did we learn from the Olympics. And Matt McEwen shared something in the comments on Monday after we started this conversation. That was the idea of how in the men's decathlon final, the last event, Cedric Doubler, who is an Australian participant who did not win a medal, but he was a coach or a mentor or an encourager or a cheerleader for someone who was, and that was Ash Maloney. And Ash Maloney needed to run a particularly fast 1500 meter. I think it needed to be a PB to end up with a medal, a bronze medal in this event. It would have been, it's an amazing effort. Ash Maloney's a young fellow, only about 20 years old. And Cedric Doubler really ran next to him. And he was tough. He was yelling in his ear, yelling at him in some ways. It was really quite an iconic moment. Let me just share this article that I found here, why everyone needs a Cedric Doubler in their lives. Now, what this article talks about is the different types of mentors. There are mentors who are very encouraging and very much a cheerleader. And then there are mentors who are a bit harder on the people that they're mentoring. And the article about why everyone needs a Cedric Doubler in your life is quite simply, there are times when we need to push each other, and we need times when we need to be pushed. Times we need to push ourselves, and there's times we need to have someone in our ear yelling at us, like Cedric is here yelling at Ash Maloney, and Ash Maloney is looking a bit shocked, maybe pretty focused, but look at the intensity on Cedric Doubler's face in this image here. And what I loved in this article, Sydney Morning Herald article, is that there are 8 ways to mentor is the part of the research here. And sometimes we need to cheer, and sometimes we need to be a bit harder on people. And as it says down the bottom here, we all need Cedrics in our lives. Those who can be honest with us, those familiar with both spades and shovels. And the last bit, we also need to be Cedrics. A little more upfrontery and a little less mealy-mouthed. Be less praising if it's not warranted and more demanding if need be, is the article here. So that is the article. I'll put that in the links for you if you'd like to check it out. But let me just come back to where I was trying to get to over here, and that is this screen back over here. And there I am, back again. Matt McEwen's here. Matt, thank you for sharing that with us, mate. Yes, it was the best. Your comment on Monday is where we got to with this, how we got to this, Matt. So thank you very much for bringing that to us. So the question I wanted to pose today is, what type of mentor are you by default? And are you familiar with the multiple different ways that we need to, or that we could be best mentoring others? When do we need to cheer? When do we need to be a bit harder? When do we need to find a middle ground? When is the right thing to really focus on? And to try and figure this out, because I've struggled with this for a long time, and that is that I want to share something else with you, and that is something that I've again discovered and figured out, and something that I call the empathy accountability continuum. And that is that at one end of a behavior might be complete empathy for a person that you're working with, or someone you're mentoring. And the other end, which I reckon is where Cedric was on that last bend coming around in that 1500 meter final in the decathlon for Ash Maloney, is at the complete assertive or accountability end of this continuum. And drawing it like this, or seeing it like you can see on screen, has really helped me to realize that, you know what, I spend most of my time at the left side of the continuum, connecting with people and maybe being more of a cheerleader. But when the time's right, I've got to turn up the volume. I've got to turn up the level of my assertiveness and accountability. But if I don't focus on making sure that I get that connection first, then I might stuff it up, and I might be too hard on someone, and they may not really respond in the way I'd like them to. And so with the image of Cedric yelling in Ash Maloney's ear, I think it's important that we understand they've known each other for years and years. They trained together. They've been teammates at various events. Cedric is older and the mentor of Ash, but they have a very good, strong human connection as well. So that is definitely something to consider. Hey, on the same topic, Matt just writes, can be ruinous, that empathy, if overdone like I have for ages. So, Matt, I think what I'm reading there is that if you overdo the empathy for too long and don't ask people to step up to the next level and keep them accountable and keep them progressing, then it can certainly have stagnant relationships, and people can have a level of entitlement where they think that whatever they do is just perfect if we praise them for everything. I think that's the point you're making, and I agree with you. By the same token, if we're always a hard ass and always at the hard, assertive, accountable end of this continuum, then we can have a similar effect, probably in a shorter time frame. We can stuff it up. So there are two sides to that topic. I'm going to come back here for a moment. What I did share with you then on the screen, the empathy accountability continuum, is something from a PDF that I've got for you if you like. The link is in the show notes, and then it's called the Next Level Leadership Guide. I'll put it on the screen for you to tick so you know where to get it if you're interested. But I want to check out the comments here. Trav writes, I love tough love, but you need to pick your mark. Fearful of being labelled a bully by Gen Z, Gen Y these days. Yeah, Trav, that there is different generations and different people have got different ways that they engage with mentoring, with empathy, with accountability. There's no question about that. And that's where the personal connection is really important in the first place. Carmel writes, I struggle with the accountability, but I feel that side is what I would respond to best. Hey, that's interesting, Carmel. Someone holds up a mirror and says, Carmel, you can do better on this. Maybe not yelling in your ear, but definitely encouraging and supporting you to be to step up to the plate. And Carmel, especially with the team development, I know that's something you've been working on for a long time. Maybe someone holding up a mirror and say, come on, Carmel, what's next? Stepping up to the next level might be useful for you. Matt writes some great stuff on this in Radical Candor. Absolutely. Kim Scott, I think, is the author of Radical Candor. Appreciate that, Matt. Alrighty, guys, that is the topic for today. Think Big, Act Small in August is what we're up to. I was distracted by a message coming up on my screen. Sorry about that. My name is Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. I'm here from 8:45 a.m. till 9 a.m. around about every weekday morning. Let me just quickly go back to this screen share because I wanted to show you. That is the Ash Maloney article. But if you're interested in the PDF I showed, so download the guide here at tristanwhite.com.au. You can see there's the Next Level Leadership Guide. Head over there, click on this red button, and you'll get a PDF guide which will include that empathy accountability continuum. that was on the screen just a little while ago. So if you're interested, check that out. If you've got a comment, a thought, an idea about this, then please do write in the comments. Send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Remember to think big and act small. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Catch ya.